I'm actually really psyched for it. I can't believe I haven't seen it yet, honestly.
All right. Well, hell, we are now live. All right, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews. We are broadcasting live currently to bring you a audio commentary of the 1996 Hong Kong Category 3 exploitation film Ebola Syndrome, and I'm here with my special guest, Andrew from the New Fury.
Hey.
All right. Now, you got it open in a separate window.
Can you... What, the movie?
Yeah, you got it open.
Can you hit me with a link?
Oh, yeah, hit you with the link. Yeah, because I don't need the link because I own the movie.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, no, let me just... I checked all the copies on YouTube. The only copies I can find of this movie are in 240p, which I mean, that's how I first watched the movie. So I didn't have a problem with it when I first watched it, but
I probably won't either. Seen plenty of shitty 240p movies on YouTube. This one should not be a problem.
But this is a movie directed by Herman Yao, who also directed The Untold Story. And I think he did Dr. Lamb. All right.
Oh, shit.
The opening to this movie, I always thought, was just like the perfect opening because it really sets the tone overall.
No kidding.
Oh man, you think it's crazy now? Just wait. I'm ready for this. I got all kinds of shit.
Huh. Fuck, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
I love this movie. It's probably my second favorite. Like my second favorite, probably one of the infamous Category 3 movies.
And you like The Untold Story better, right?
Yeah, I think The Untold Story is a better movie overall.
I haven't seen that one either.
Oh, I just realized I didn't turn on the subtitles for my DVD. I'm like, why is there not subtitles?
Why don't I know what's going on?
Damn.
Holy shit.
It just gets worse and worse.
This is surreal already. Oh my god.
Just get to the part where she pisses on him.
Yeah.
I understand. It really sets the tone for the movie. Like, but I don't know. I don't think it's as brutal as The Untold Story is overall.
No kidding.
Although they're kind of like brother-sister films because they both have very similar kind of premises, and they're both from the same director, same star.
Okay. Did he do anything else of note that you know of?
Actually, he did another movie called Taxi Hunter in like '94, I think. or it might have been even later. It might have been after this one, but I haven't seen that one yet. But I know that one's like a revenge film about a guy like killing taxi drivers because his pregnant wife was hit by a taxi driver in the middle of the night, and she was killed. And that one stars Herman. That one stars Anthony Wong as the guy killing the taxi drivers.
Okay. I mean, judging from what I'm seeing so far, that seems pretty. I believe that.
Like, I mean, there is just like when it comes to like extreme Hong Kong horror, I think the '90s was probably one of the best eras because that's just when like things got really crazy. I mean, I haven't heard about any extreme kind of crazy movies like this from coming out of Hong Kong from before this or after the '90s.
Yeah, I would. I would check out from the '80s. Devil's Express. That one's like is definitely more subdued than this, but it gets pretty damn wild.
Nah, man, I'll have to look into that one. But I'm trying to think of all the ones I've seen. I did a marathon last October where I watched like one movie a day for
Dude,
all 30 days. I didn't think I was actually going to be able to do it with how much I work because I work almost every single day, but I found a way
yeah,
to do it. And I watched quite a few Hong Kong Category 3 films in that time. And uh, some of the gems I found were Daughter of Darkness and Dr. Lamb. Although I think Dr. Lamb is like up there with these two almost.
I don't know if I'd be able to take a ton of these movies in 1 month. I feel like I need a breather.
I mean, what's really crazy is if you didn't know, the Untold Story is actually based on a true story.
Completely?
Like, not entirely, but the idea of the movie being about a guy who kills the owner, like who basically ends up owning a restaurant. And he kills people and serves them to people. That is actually true. That actually did happen in Hong Kong. So to an extent, it is based on a true story, which I think is really interesting. So is Daughter of Darkness, and Daughter of Darkness is very, very dark and grim.
So,
That one has to do with a girl and her like entire family like rapes and tortures her,
oh my
and
gosh.
then she eventually gets revenge on all of them. And it's a
Damn.
dark comedy too, much like most of these movies are. They're dark comedies as well.
This is just fucking insane. Who's been fucking pissing on people and cutting out their tongues. It's not even been 10 minutes yet.
Oh no, you don't even know, man. It gets worse. From here, it only gets worse. But I looked at that website you sent me with all that public domain shit, and that's interesting. I know
You
I'd
looked it
looked
up
at it
somewhere?
before, but I'd never really read into the stuff. But there's some crazy stuff on there.
You gotta pick up some.
Oh no, man, I'm going to. It's just I have the new Blu-ray of Microwave Massacre coming out this Tuesday,
Dude,
so I got that money coming out of my account and stuff. So I can't spend any money right now. I mean, I just spent like $47 today on a combination of a haircut and beef jerky. So
dude, that's been me so many times, minus the haircut, is like buying a fucking second copy of Cannibal Holocaust and then like 6 pounds of candy. Like, and I never even feel that bad about it.
I mean, look, I don't feel bad about this beef jerky. This stuff is like made in Ohio. This is a public. This is a local business. They make good stuff.
State pride.
Mm.
Okay. Are those frogs? All right. Are they? Oh,
Yeah, those are actual frogs they used.
I'm not surprised. You
I
see that
mean,
a lot more in a lot of Asian films. I guess the regulations are probably more loose.
yeah, I mean, in Old Boy, when he eats the live octopus, that's a real octopus that he ate.
Hmm. I mean, that's actually. I mean, they do that though in
Yeah,
a
no.
lot of East
I'd,
Asian countries.
I'd love to at least try to eat a live octopus at least once. I'm a weirdo like that. Like I would
I
legit,
would
like,
love
would
to.
legit try.
Like, I've heard it tastes good, but I've heard it's difficult because it like tries to like grab onto your mouth when you're trying to eat it.
Yeah, no, it can like get stuck on your esophagus, or it can. I've even heard about somebody it climbed out of their mouth.
Fuck, dude, that would be terrifying. But I still kind of want to try it though.
I don't know, man. It'd be cool as hell. I mean, I've eaten like calamari and squid before, dead, but never alive.
Yeah, that's that separates the men from the boys if it's still breathing.
If it's still breathing. Oh,
The
yeah,
dialogue in this is insane, and you know part of it's got to be from like translation, but still, like fuck.
like even if you find that translated, it's still probably not. I mean, like never translations of things are never exact. That's the thing.
Yeah,
No matter what you do. I mean, as somebody who watches a lot of anime, well, I used to. I'm starting to get back into it, kind of, but I've realized that there are big differences between the subtitled versions, the dubs, and the original Japanese dubs.
oh yeah, like something always gets lost in a translation. But somehow I get the feeling that like casual lines like "you've got a big dick," everyone knows this. That probably isn't too different from the original. Like it's probably just insane, no matter what version you're listening to.
I mean, I think when it comes to movies like these, they are just all crazy like this. I also like how this movie takes place in both Hong Kong and South Africa.
Yeah.
I was like,
So far, these white actors are legitimately better than any white actors I've seen in a Chinese or Hong Kong film ever. I don't know how they managed to do this. Because
yeah,
it
I
was
don't know
probably
about
shot
that.
all in Hong Kong, right?
Hmm?
It was probably shot all in Hong Kong, right? The movie.
I actually do not know. I haven't really read up on many of these movies. I know like some of the stuff about the production, but never like where it was shot or anything like that.
It seems pretty low budget, so I'm gonna bet they didn't shoot on location in South Africa for these scenes.
I mean, maybe, probably not. Considering that Herman Yao did a ton of movies, I mean, I don't think he's like Takashi Miike right now because Takashi Miike is like upwards of like 100 movies currently, I think.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
And I think it's crazy because Takashi Miike, I mean, he's most well known for like, Ichi the Killer,
Hmm.
Visitor Q, Go Zoo, Audition, but he's also done children's films.
Has he really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't know if you might know about this, but do you know of the Japanese? It's like a Japanese video game, Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he did the live action adaptation of that film.
There was an adaptation of Phoenix, right?
Yeah, he did the movie adaptation of it, which I think he's a good director. I've mainly seen him do horror films or
Yeah.
movies with darker premises, but I think he's a good enough director to get out there in genres.
Was it a good adaptation? Like, was it good?
Actually, I haven't seen it. I just know that he did it. He also did a movie called Ninja Kids,
Oh my god, no way.
and like from last time I looked on IMDb, there's no plot like listed because I guess this is like a movie that's just like so Japanese that nobody really nobody really cared to put up a plot for it on IMDb. But it's just called Ninja Kids, and it's like in all caps with exclamation marks and
Oh my
shit.
god,
Like,
that's fucking great. I wonder if it's anything like those awful fucking Three Ninjas movies that we made here in America.
oh god, Three Ninjas, not those,
You remember that shit?
dude. I used to live that shit.
The
I used to
fuck?
that used to be my shit when I was younger. That and the Home Alone movies.
Yeah, the Home
When I
Alone
went
movie.
over to when I went over to my cousin's house when I was younger, we used to pop in Home Alone and all these kinds of movies with kids like fighting burglars and shit with using traps.
Right? These kids doing shit that like no child could actually do. But I mean, Home Alone, that's like some legitimately good family entertainment though.
Oh no, I like the Home Alone movies. It's a shame what has happened to Macaulay Culkin because he is just faded into obscurity and nothingness now.
Yeah, except when we hear about him for like his various DUIs.
Apparently, he started a band.
Was he the one that started like that Velvet Underground cover band that was like about pizza?
Yes, actually, he did start that band.
The Pizza Underground? Man, fuck. So he's not doing nothing.
I mean, he's doing something. I'm sure he still has some money from his Home Alone fame. I'm sure that every time they play Home Alone on TV, he gets some money from it.
I hope so.
I'm sure he's not broke. I hope he's not broke. I mean, from what I've heard, he's a good guy.
Yeah, sometimes he just drinks a little bit and then goes out on the road.
I
We all make
mean,
mistakes.
did you ever see that movie he did, The Good Son,
Yeah, that's
when
a
he was
great
younger?
movie with Elijah Wood.
Yeah, no, I think that one's pretty underrated. Like,
I
I
love
mean,
it.
people didn't like it when it first came out, but like I remember reading some reviews of it. I know like Roger Ebert in his review of it, he said it was an extremely unpleasant experience, and I'm like, well, isn't that kind of the point
It
of a horror
absolutely
film?
is.
Like if it's an unpleasant experience, I mean, sure you can't recommend it, but you got to give them some credit there.
I mean, some of the best movies I've ever seen have been wholly unpleasant experiences.
Yeah, like all of these Hong Kong Category 3 movies are pretty unpleasant overall.
Like the one we're watching right now. This is like pretty fucking wild. Is he gonna fuck the meat?
Yes, he
That's what I'm
is.
at right now.
Yeah, no, I'm a little behind, but I don't want to ruin this. Okay, because I feel like watching this movie with interruptions kind of ruins the just absolute off the wall oddball things that go on. Superman, fucking
Oh my,
Superman.
this is fucking wild.
I think this one's a lot more. Even though I do think the Untold Story is better, I think this movie is a lot more kind of like gross and John Waters esque.
I'm definitely getting that. Like they're playing up like the gross out comedy thing for sure.
Like it just gives that kind of vibe off.
I actually
Oh, do you
recognize.
know that?
Wait, what?
Oh no, you go ahead, man.
I recognize the dude that was going Superman on that chick just then. He's actually a martial artist and he's really good.
Oh damn, I was actually about to mention martial arts. The director of this movie, Herman Yao, he actually directed a couple of the Ip Man movies. Like not the straightforward like really famous ones, but some of the like lesser known ones, like Ip Man: The Final Fight or whatever that one was. Like he directed a couple of those.
Yeah, I've seen them, and I'm pretty sure the dude who I just said was a martial artist was in at least one of them.
Yeah, no, but he's got a pretty big range of movies. I think I don't know how many he's done exactly. I know he's done quite a few though.
I mean, if he's kept making movies like from this time still, because those Hitman movies, they're pretty recent.
I
So
mean, they are. They are.
he's probably got a lot under his belt.
I think that's good when a talented director can get a lot of movies under his belt and just get shit done like that. And they don't all have to be one genre. Although it's great if they do one genre and it's the genre they're good at.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And like it's cool because I've seen those Hitman movies and they're really legitimately like well produced, well made, high production value. So like he can branch out and do it very well, which not a lot of directors I think can claim that.
Yeah, like I mean, I could never imagine like Tarantino doing a movie that isn't like a really dark, like violent, profane movie. Like I really couldn't imagine him doing a musical
Oh my
or
god,
like a children's film.
dude, no way. And I feel like if he did, that would be something he wouldn't really even be particularly good at.
And no, it just I don't think it's one of those things that it just isn't him.
Yeah. And that's cool because when he does him, all of his movies have been solid.
Yeah, like I mean, I can only think of like one Tarantino movie that I really didn't like, and that was Jackie Brown, and that was just mainly because I don't know, I just really couldn't get into that one as much as I could like Pulp Fiction.
I didn't like Jackie Brown either. I wanted to because I legitimately like a lot of blaxploitation. Um,
Oh, I mean, the black exploitation films are just fun.
yeah, and a lot of what he was referencing was good, but I think he really, I think, I think maybe it might have to do with the fact that he's like a white dude from like mid. I think he's from like Midwestern America or New
He's
York,
from Arizona.
Arizona. Okay, that makes sense. Why he maybe failed to capture like the essence of blaxploitation. But whatever it
Oh
is,
no,
I think
no.
that is the only film of his also that I really just didn't have a taste for.
Man, I don't blame you for that one. I mean, but people actually get pissed off at me when I say this, but actually, probably another one of my least favorite Tarantino movies is actually Reservoir Dogs. I'm not saying it's bad. Like I like the movie. It just I don't like it as much as I do like Inglorious Bastards or I do think it's better than the Kill Bill movies, but Kill Bill movies honestly for me are pretty weak too.
I'd
They're
agree
nothing
with you
super special.
actually about Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill. Um, I mean, I like them. I just think they're some of his weakest cuts.
But man, I still think that The Hateful Eight might be my favorite.
Yeah, the Hateful Eight, like the real thing that made that a winner was the pacing. I thought.
Oh no, man! It just gave off like that kind of like old school spaghetti western kind of like vibe. I mean, a lot of
Hmm.
spaghetti westerns ran for like 2 hours,
Yeah,
2 3 hours long, so they got like the perfect length.
and I believe Ennio Morricone also did the score, which was a huge
Oh,
plus.
Oh no, that score in the film was great. They even got tracks that were on the soundtrack for The Thing to put in the movie.
That was, yeah, the score was incredible. The pacing was really good. The acting was really good. Overall, I thought it was very, very, very
And,
good.
and the fact that Tarantino has actually said this too, the fact that the film is basically one big tribute to John Carpenter's The Thing is also really, really cool.
Oh yeah, you definitely get that feel, and I do like the limited location. It almost plays out like a stage play, which can be really bad in a movie, but I think he made it work.
Yeah, no, it really got those. I mean, obviously, it goes with the themes of like isolation and paranoia, but it also gets the fact that you got Kurt Russell in there is great too.
Yeah, I'm
And
a fan of Kurt Russell. He's got a really great presence on screen always.
like, I can't think of a single Kurt Russell movie that I've seen that I haven't liked.
Oh, I mean,
I mean, I haven't gone through and seen every single one of his movies, but I've
I
seen
can't,
my fair share.
yeah, I can't think of one either. I was trying to think of he did some sort of kids movie spin-off thing like Arnold Schwarzenegger did several times, but
But I was actually talking to my friends. We all get on PlayStation Network and we talk sometimes. And there's a game that exists called Broforce. I don't know if you know about this one,
I've not heard of it.
but you know how it's like literally just one big tribute to like action movies, and like all the characters are references to action movie characters.
I did not know that, but I do now.
Like you got a character who is supposed to be Mad Max, and it's Bro Max. You
Oh,
got you got Leon the Professional, who is the Professional.
huh.
You got the Boondock Saints, which is the Brodock Saints.
Is it a beat 'em up type thing?
It's like a side-scrolling shooter, and it's like really like it's like really really heavily inspired by, obviously, like I said, like action movies, especially 80s action films. Like you can even play as Ash Williams, which is
Oh,
which is like Ashley Williams or something like that. And like he uses the boomstick, and he's got the chainsaw and everything.
damn. That does sound fun.
But uh but you can play as Snake Plissken in it too, which is Snake
Oh,
Broskin.
shit. I keep like seeing martial artists slash actors in this movie. Like, that's really weird.
There's some recognizable faces if you're familiar with, uh, especially like Hong Kong cinema. But I would not say that I am extremely familiar. I mean, I've seen my fair share of the Category 3 like exploitation films, but I have not gone really past that.
Um, yeah, they sort of specialize now in like action films. Um, I mean, like, you know, the biggest films for them every year is like a Jackie Chan film, naturally. Um,
Uh, I mean, I don't like Jackie Chan. I
man,
don't. I think
somehow that makes you un-American to not like Jackie Chan. That's so weird to me.
like I'm not saying he's like a bad actor or he's a bad martial artist. It's just I hear people say that he's like one of the best martial artists to ever grace the screen, but I just feel like saying that is bullshit, and that's wrong.
I mean, I don't know why they would say that because he's definitely more of an actor than a martial artist, and even he will say that. Like, so I mean, he is a good martial artist, but he's definitely more of an actor. Like, he couldn't go toe to toe with someone like Bruce Lee and like come out, not fucked up.
But shit, Bruce Lee had the cheat codes to life, man. I mean, he could break through wood with the 1-inch punch, even though that's humanly impossible.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
Bruce Lee was some kind of superhuman.
you fucking think so, man? Especially since he was so like small of stature. It's weird, but yeah, he was the best that's ever been on screen.
I mean, easily, yeah. But even then, even though I love Bruce Lee and I love like Enter the Dragon and Way of the Dragon,
Great films.
still, I haven't really gotten deep into like martial arts films. I don't know. I just can't really get into them that well. I mean, like the last martial arts film that I could say I got into and really, really had a lot of fun with was maybe Hardcore Henry, but that really wasn't much martial arts. I mean, there was some martial arts in that film, but the only other one I could really think of is Riki-Oh, which I think is probably the best martial arts film ever made.
I have still not seen Riki-Oh.
You're gonna have to.
Is it on YouTube? It feels like the kind of movie that would be on YouTube.
It's actually, from what I've heard, it has actually fallen into public domain in the U.S. From what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that.
Thank God. Although I will say, if for whatever reason you want to try getting into the genre, I really do recommend like the more famous Hitman movies as a starting point, because they appeal to a lot of people that don't like martial arts films as well, because they're also good dramas, like historical dramas.
I mean, I've got a friend of mine who's really into the Ip Man movies, and he's told me to watch them before, and it's just one of those things with me. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'll check them out sometime, but because I'm not really too into the genre, it's just I can't just like be like, oh look, Ip Man, and just turn it on,
Yeah, dude, I totally feel you. It can be real hard to like motivate yourself to watch something that you're not particularly like way into when you've got like a collection of stuff that is immediately like seems better, more accessible.
Where are you at in the movie?
The car has broken down in South Africa. They're picking up the fainted woman.
You are not ready.
Shit. Oh my God. This does feel very John Waters to me. Like, but I feel like this scene where he's like taking advantage of the fainted woman, I feel like this is a little further than even John Waters would probably go.
Yeah. I feel like John Waters wouldn't even touch something like this.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, the only reason I feel like they are in this movie is because it's not American.
That and the fact that the movie, while extremely dark, still has a kind of comedic tone.
Yeah, but I feel like even in America, comedic tone or not, directors would.
Oh no, you can't.
Clear. And for good reason, I think.
I think that's why like something like Krampus surprised me so much when I first saw Krampus. I mean, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it takes a dark. I would recommend seeing it because it takes a very dark turn, and it is a like. I mean, it's a pretty big budget like studio picture.
Huh. The dude just got Ebola.
And he's one of those like 1 in a million people that just becomes a carrier. He doesn't get affected by it.
Huh. This is actually pretty topical with the big Ebola outbreak that happened recently?
Actually, when I first watched this movie and reviewed it for my channel years ago, um, literally that summer, the big Ebola thing happened, and I was like, "Oh my God, did I cause this?" I was like freaking out. Like I
Fucking
felt terrible because I was like, "Oh my gosh, this movie is." In the review, I was like, "Man, this movie is dark as hell, but it's hilarious." And then it happened, and I was like, "Oh shit, I got a video where I say Ebola is hilarious."
oh my god, dude, that's fucked. Like everyone's freaked out, and you're like, "Yeah, man, Ebola, ain't that some funny shit?" Like,
I mean,
you did it. You brought it on somehow.
oh hell yeah.
An Ebola in Hong Kong would be a fucking disaster.
Oh no, it really would be, which is why this movie is like kind of disturbing. I
Yeah,
would say it's kind of. I mean, that's not the 100% reason, because there are a lot of things that could make this movie a potential disturbing movie, but that's definitely one of the big ones for at least for me personally. Because if you didn't know, I have a very big fear of being quarantined.
huh.
Like I've never been quarantined, but I feel like being quarantined would be very, very horrifying, which is why I would consider like Wreck to be one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
I've not seen it still, but yeah, dude. Like, you would, you especially, then would not want to be in Hong Kong if something broke out with that many fucking people in a fairly small place.
Also, I feel like with this movie, even though the Untold Story had a kind of like police academy like esque group of cops that are like always joking around,
Huh.
this one is still way more comedic. Just because like how it plays out towards the end of the movie, which again, I mean, again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but how it plays out towards the end is kind of hilarious.
And the banter is pretty comedic as well. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
some heavy shit is happening, and there's like always just this air of sort of goofiness that's hanging over every scene, no matter what's going on.
Yeah, it's that's one of my favorite things about a lot of these Category 3 movies, especially these the native Hong Kong ones. A lot of them tended to go for like serious subject matter, but still kind of goofy tone.
Yeah. When you say native, is that opposed to like ones made in Taiwan or Singapore or something?
I mean, I say native because when you say, because sometimes when I say like because I mean Category 3 is a rating after all. So
Yeah.
when you say, "Oh, I love Category 3 movies," you could be talking about, "Oh, you mean Eyes Wide Shut? Do you mean Old Boy? Do you mean Battle Royale?" I'm just when I say Category 3, I usually mean like the movies like this. I mean, movies with this kind of tone. I mean that have the kind of comedic undertones, but are still very, very dark and kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
But no, I think a very good example of one of the things in that of like something that is just really goofy in like a pretty serious movie is in The Underground Banker, how the banker's neighbor is based on the same serial killer that Dr. Lamb is based on. And that serial killer was crazy. He's a sick guy. Like he lived in a one-room apartment with his family, and he hid most of the body parts in that one room while living in this like one-room apartment with his brother and his brother's family.
Good Lord.
But yeah, no, the neighbor in the movie is supposed to be that serial killer who is like been rehabilitated, and the banker's son loves to play video games, and he goes over to the neighbor's house who is a serial killer to play video games with him.
Fuck, dude.
And the serial killer is like a nice guy, and he just wants to help the banker out with his situation that he's having.
Huh. So he's like genuinely rehabilitated?
Yeah, like genuinely, but he's still like a crazy. He's still he can still like do horrible things. I would kind of compare him almost to Ichi from Ichi the Killer. How
Okay.
he's just like like seems like a normal guy, but then things happen.
Huh. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's about to get fucked up in here. Let's get it started in
Oh
here.
my god. Fuck. So is he being like possessed by the Ebola to do this? Or
Well, I think it's a combination of that, and he's just like it's a combination of that. He's sick of their shit, and he's crazy anyway. I mean, he almost set a little girl on fire in the opening of the movie, so
yeah. And she was talking an awful lot about like dumping his body somewhere.
like I mean, if I mean, I'm not saying I would do that if I was a normal person, but if I was a crazy person, I might try to kill somebody over that if I was like
Yeah,
on my
you're
deathbed.
unstable enough. Oh fuck.
It's WWE, or no, it is in the '90s, isn't it? WWF, back when it was good.
Shit.
Back before we lost Macho Man.
Oh, God bless. I just watched Hell Comes to Frogtown the other day.
I have actually not seen Hell Comes to Frogtown.
It's got the Macho Man in it, and it's glorious, as you would expect.
I know it doesn't have Roddy Piper in it too.
Yeah,
Oh shit! Because I knew it had Roddy Piper. I didn't know it had Macho Man.
yeah. I think Macho Man only has a cameo, like a
Uh,
small cameo.
that's still cool though. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I need to see Hell Comes to Frogtown though.
it's good. You would definitely enjoy it.
I mean, I really like, you know, it's a shame we lost Roddy Piper last year too. Like, goddamn,
Yeah,
we're
man.
losing all the good wrestlers. Is Hulk Hogan gonna die next?
I was
I
just
mean,
about to say the whole fucking
like,
sex tape scandal's probably taking a toll on his heart.
and the whole racism thing from like last year.
Oh yeah, yikes. Shit. Man, did you ever watch his show Hogan Knows Best?
I watched some of it. It was pretty weird.
It is bizarre and sad. Like, I don't know, man. It was like I regretted it because I could not see Hulk Hogan the same way.
I remember watching this skit about it on Robot Chicken, where it's like the Hulkster said, "Who wants some beans?"
Oh my god.
And everybody's just sitting at the table eating, and he says it again,
Oh my
and
god.
it's like Hulkamania is running mild, brother.
Holy shit. The Hulk is like the most unintentionally hilarious wrestler.
Like him and Macho Man were two of the greatest. I mean, like they need to like I know how they make these I know WWE has a thing where they like make like the best of fights between wrestlers and stuff and they release it on like DVD as a big compilation. Like I know my younger sister who really isn't really into wrestling anymore, but she used to be, and she has a big set of just like the best of John Cena's fights.
Oh my god.
And I think they should make that for Macho Man and and Hulk Hogan, but like make it just their promos where they were just being really loud and sweaty.
Yes, exactly. Like, I would absolutely buy that.
It's enough to get me to the boiling point.
Oh my gosh. Fucking. Yeah, I bet you Hulk Hogan's gonna be the next one to bite the dust.
I mean, look, if he does, like, goddamn.
Fucking.
It's a shame we lost Roddy Piper, too, because They Live is one of my favorite John Carpenter movies.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Like, that's one of those movies, when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty interesting and pretty cool, like the ideas and everything. But
Hmm.
then I grew up a bit and saw it again, and I was like, shit, this movie has opened my eyes.
Yeah, man, it's like it fires on a lot of deep cylinders. Like, there's a lot going on in that movie, and it's awesome.
Oh, fuck, I forgot that happens in this movie. That's some, what is it, blood-sucking freaks level shit right there.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is fucking bizarre. Oh wow. This dude's into some fuck shit, man.
I mean,
Did he crush her with the
mm,
table?
yeah, like broke her neck.
Alright. I'm with it.
That's the thing that would suck about being a murderer is you'd have to clean up all the mess, especially if you were like really, really fucked up.
Yeah, and that shit would just stress me out too much. Because, like, they can find blood now, no matter how good you clean it up.
Did you know that luminol, the stuff they spray it to like put under the black light to find blood, it shows up the same way as it does with blood as it does with horseradish.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, no. I learned that in my forensics class in high school. I took forensics, and if you spill horseradish and like blood right next to each other, and then you spray luminol on it, they will both glow same way.
God damn. Well, I wonder if anyone's gotten incriminated for that kind of shit. Horseradish incident.
Mm, patties. I'm not gonna lie, those burgers do look good, even if they are made out of people.
Yeah, man, burgers are honestly my favorite food. So, like, I don't even care what they're made of. Like,
I mean, burgers are pretty good. That is a tasty burger.
and human burgers would probably taste pretty awesome because of our diets.
Actually, something really interesting that happened a few years back. Some scientists actually figured out by asking people in like asylums and prisons who had cannibalized people before what they thought human flesh tasted like, and they actually made a burger out of different meats that taste as close as you can get to human flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Some scientists actually made that, and according to the people that ate it, they were like, "That was really good." Like, and they just had the burgers like completely unseasoned,
And it was like, it was good.
and they said that those are some pretty good burgers, and they're supposed to taste like human flesh.
God damn. I wonder what meats they used.
It was like a combination of chicken, pork, beef, and I think there might have been like a little bit of bison in there, maybe.
Huh.
They didn't release the exact like increments of how much of what they put in, because I'm sure they wanted to corner the market of, hey, human flesh burgers, but
Wait, are they like selling them?
no. But I mean, that was a joke, but
Oh, just in case they wanted to sell them.
I mean, hell, I'd buy one.
Dude, I would too, out of
Oh,
curiosity.
fuck, I just spilled my drink on myself.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, ain't life grand?
Huh.
Oh well.
All these people seem to be enjoying the burgers.
I'm just kidding. Go out and find some whores.
Huh.
I'm gonna create my own restaurant with blackjack and hookers.
Oh my god. Huh. This is great. I'm really surprised that a movie this extreme is so kind of balanced. Like, with just messed up shit and then some legitimately kind of funny scenes.
And like the dialogue in this movie is I love this. Some of the dialogue. It
Yeah,
just
it's
works.
fucking wild. It's
Like
completely off the
earlier,
wall.
like earlier in the movie when that chick called that black guy the N-word, it's like what? And the thing is, she's speaking Chinese, so she couldn't understand. He couldn't understand her. So that just like makes it all the more like off the
Like,
wall. Like that's the last thing I would have expected in a movie like this.
huh. Yeah. Again, things you would not see in an American film nowadays.
No, you wouldn't.
Or even in the 90s, I think.
No, probably not. That's another reason I kind of, I mean, not like on the same level as this, but that's one of the another reasons that I gotta praise movies like The Witch, because I mean, The Witch had the balls to kill off a baby in the first 10 minutes. Like,
And I think they did it tactfully, honestly. I don't think it was even like exploitative or anything.
oh no, the way they did it was like, I mean, it was almost like I would honestly compare it to the baby falling out of the window scene in the opening of Lars von Trier's Antichrist.
Which I have not seen.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's as artsy as Antichrist, but it's like it's constrained and at the same time disturbing in the right way. But
Yeah,
Antichrist,
huh. Is that one pretty artsy, I guess?
like it's. I mean, there are people that are like, "Oh, it's artsy bullshit," and I could kind of see that, but I feel like it's like the characters are interesting enough and some of the ideas, some of the kind of artsy ideas that people claim not to be able to see, kind of like with Eraserhead,
Mm-hmm.
like I can see them pretty well. Other people complain, oh, it's just trying hard to be edgy and different, but honestly, Antichrist is I think it's a good movie. I think it's great. It was although I will say this, I do not respect Lars von Trier as a filmmaker, mainly because while I will say that film is definitely kind of a work of art. And his other films are not.
Oh, yeah? What else has he done?
He did the Nymphomaniac movies, Nymphomaniac Volumes One
Ooh.
and Two, and I'm not going to sit here and say those movies weren't like well made, but they were legitimately made just so Lars von Trier could have an excuse to put as much nudity and sexual content on screen as possible and it not be pornography, basically. Like, he
Yeah.
tries way too hard to be edgy. And, like, that's not even a joke.
Huh.
Like, he
Yeah,
literally said in an interview that he agrees with what Hitler was trying to do and that he is a Nazi. He
man,
legitimately said that. No, this actually exists. He said in an interview, "Yeah, no, I understand what Hitler was saying," and this had like nothing to do with like what they were asking him. I think they were asking him like, "Why did you put like some Nazi symbolism in this movie or something, and he legitimately just goes on saying, "Oh, I agree with what Hitler was doing, and you see, I'm a Nazi." And the reason he said that is because he was being interviewed at the Cannes Film Festival, and he knew that would press, and then he got Cannes Film Festival.
God damn it, that's fucking ridiculous.
He's got some kind of
You're breaking up, dude.
guy. The guy is true edgelord. I mean, there are people who are like, "Oh, Tarantino only like makes movies based, only makes like Western. The only reason he's made Westerns recently is so he could put the N word in his movie a bunch of times." But if that is being edgy, if that is Tarantino being edgy, then Lars von Trier is on a whole nother level.
He's on a whole other fucking ledge, dude. Like, that's ridiculous. And honestly, one of the reasons I've avoided those movies is because it has kind of seemed like movies that were trying too hard to be edgy, and that's like all that was going on in the film.
Yeah, and there's even a moment in the second. I didn't even watch the second Nymphomaniac movie. I just watched the first one, and I was like, man, that's kind of shit. I'm not gonna watch the second one. But there's a scene in the second movie where it is literally the exact same scene as the opening scene of the baby falling out the window in Antichrist. And the thing is, if you were to see Nymphomaniac first, it would ruin how like heartbreaking and like depressing that opening scene is.
Oh shit. I'll stay away from his other movies then.
I mean, I would recommend it. Like,
yeah.
Like, I heard that he was planning on directing a remake of Taxi Driver, and I'm like,
No.
please, God, no, he will ruin that.
And that's such a good movie.
One of my all-time favorite movies, like legitimately, I think it is Martin Scorsese's best film. I think it's better than Goodfellas.
I agree. I like it much better than Goodfellas, honestly.
I mean, Goodfellas is still a great movie, but
yeah, but I think Taxi Driver, it just has a lot more, I think, going for it in terms of dimension and pacing and things like that.
Also, Travis Bickle as a character is just so memorable and likable.
Oh, yeah. I hope he does not remake that movie.
Nobody should remake that movie. I don't care if Martin Scorsese wants to remake that movie. He shouldn't.
They should leave it alone, but this is like the age of the, like of the remake and the sequel, so who the fuck knows? Every great movie is going to get remade.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because it's unnecessary.
I mean, I try not to get mad about like remakes if it's like they're kind of remaking a movie that's based on a book. Because I know that there are people who were mad when they did what was it? Oh shit, The Great Gatsby, because they were like, oh, they're remaking the classic film from the 70s or whatever. When I don't really see those as remakes, I see them as readaptations, which is why I can like the Carrie remake. Even though it's not great, I can like it because it's not a remake. It's a readaptation. It's just another retelling of the story.
Yeah, like the source material is already a book, so it's not like the movie was the original,
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. And I mean, it's not really like a lot of the time specific remakes make me mad. It's just that like they're doing so many remakes now instead of like coming out with original stories.
Yeah. That's That's always been something that just pisses me off. I mean, there is a wealth of original scripts out there. Like, I once read that it's not that Hollywood has run out of ideas, it is that everybody in Hollywood has a script in their back pocket or a screenplay in their back pocket that would make for a good movie, but they're too afraid that it won't work out, so they don't show anybody.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so
So it's kind of like they're not really out of ideas as much as they don't want to try anything different.
yeah, which is ridiculous, but of course they want to make something that can get like a guaranteed audience and guaranteed profit.
Guaranteed 30 million
Exactly.
in like one day. I mean,
Yeah, it's I feel like the industry has become too big and is sort of starting to crush itself under its own weight.
it's just really terrible what the film industry has done to itself. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say we started off great. The movie that basically started the U.S. film industry was Birth of a Nation,
A piece
and
of racist shit, but it did it.
and I mean, like, look, I've seen that movie. I sat through that whole damn thing,
Same.
and it is not really that interesting of a movie. Like, from a historical standpoint, definitely, but it's not really entertaining, or it doesn't really get you into it. Like, honestly, I thought Metropolis was more of an interesting movie, and Metropolis, I would say, is just as boring, but it still has at least something interesting going on.
Yeah, other than like lynchings and shit.
Yeah, and people in blackface.
Exactly.
I mean, shit, that one had a dystopian city as well as sexy robots.
It was extremely ambitious for the time to do a science fiction movie that was feature length.
Oh, it was. I've seen like before that, the only like science fiction film that had ever been done, one of the only other ones, was A Trip to the Moon, which
That
is
was
a
beautiful.
short film. That's a really good one, but
Mhm. I love it. 11 minutes is perfect for that film. That one didn't need to be feature length.
yeah, I don't even think a feature length adaptation would work.
No. But man, this movie is just getting fucking crazier by the minute.
I don't know, like I said, blackjack and hookers.
I'm I'm legitimately digging like the undertones of social commentary on corruption. I don't even know if they're undertones. They're kind of obvious, but I feel like maybe easy to overlook just because of how fucking goofy and off the wall it is. Just all of this money and fucking sex and sexual assault, and done in such an extreme way, is pretty good.
No, I really like this movie. I really do. I've always had a soft spot for this movie.
I'm legitimately enjoying it. This is, oh my gosh.
Shit, I've eaten all of my jerky. I just have one more beef stick left.
So, like, how much of that 40 something dollars was spent on the jerky? Because jerky's
Well,
kind of expensive.
this stuff is like, it's not made in store, but it is made in their smokehouse, which is in Ohio. And then and it's just like, and it comes in just like a simple bag, like they literally just take a resealable bag and put a sticker on it that says what flavor it is.
Damn.
And it's kind of expensive. Like this bag that I just finished, which had about 20 sticks in it, is maybe a little bit more than 20, but that bag was about $13. but it is, and I don't get it super often. I don't buy from them super often, but when I do, it's every once in a while, and I tend to enjoy it. I usually think it's pretty much worth the money.
I bet it's great because, like, even mediocre jerky can be pretty satisfying.
Oh no, man, it's good stuff. It is, but um, well, the haircut itself was like 13, 14 bucks, and
Damn,
then
dude.
I wanted to tip the guy because it's like the same hairstylist that my younger sister goes to,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a really cool guy, really good at what he does. So I gave him a tip, and that brought it up to like 20 bucks.
Okay. Well, it's nice to tip if you can.
I mean, I always try. I
Yeah,
try.
same. I mean, like, I don't get haircuts, but like when I order food, I try to tip. I mean, I do tip. I don't try. Like, I don't order food if I can't tip because that's just shit. Because they get paid so little without tips.
Oh yeah, no man, it's crazy how little people get paid. I mean,
It's
but
ridiculous.
yeah, no, that came out to like 20, and then the jerky, I bought jerky and this salsa from the place that they have. This salsa, it's called Reaper's Sling Blade salsa,
Damn.
and it is made out of. I mean, obviously, I like really spicy food, and
Yeah.
it is made out of the Carolina Reaper, which is the pepper that has broken the record for hottest pepper. It has beaten the ghost chili pepper.
Are you fucking serious? How can you even eat that? Like,
Easy,
man, I
but
really love spicy food, but from what I've seen, even of like the ghost pepper, I probably could not handle that in any moderate amount.
I mean, I like the ghost pepper stuff. I mean, I've never eaten like a straight up ghost pepper,
Huh.
but I've had ghost pepper like hot sauce. I've had ghost pepper beef jerky. Um, I've been around the block
Shit, you've been around. How's the taste though?
for the Reaper.
Yeah, because like
It's
I
like
I
the
know like a lot of people can't they don't taste it because they can't even handle it. So I've always been curious about that real
like
spicy shit.
that's the thing about when it comes to really hot peppers, especially when you get into the stuff that holds records. Like the Carolina Reaper came into existence when a guy thought, "Hey, let's crossbreed habaneros, jalapenos, ghost peppers, and jacola peppers and see what happens." And they made the Carolina Reaper, which literally looks like Satan's heart.
Jesus Christ.
Like if you look up a picture of it, you're like, "Wow, that must be what Satan's heart looks like," because it
I'm
does kind of have a heart shape.
I'm gonna look up a picture.
Do it. You got to see this shit. But when it comes to really hot stuff like that, it really doesn't have much of a flavor because there's just so much heat. Like it has no flavor, which is why the salsa. I mean, the salsa is pretty good because they don't just make it. It's not just a puree of the pepper.
Right.
They also put tomatoes in there, onions, some vinegar, some seasoning salt, some spices. So I would say, like, as far as flavor goes, it's like it's decent salsa, but I think the pepper itself is what makes it good. It's really hot stuff though.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and it legitimately looks like evil. Like
Evil.
it's fucking terrifying. Like like it actually has like malevolent intent.
I mean, like I said, it does look like Satan's heart.
That was actually a perfect description of it. But I mean, if you can handle it,
I mean, like I wouldn't recommend it to anybody who doesn't have their fair share of experience because I can't like Like I bought this salsa because I bought the hot sauce of it last year, and it took me like a half a year to finish that bottle of hot sauce.
Hmm.
And when it comes to hot sauce, I mean, like I can finish one of those big bottles of Frank's Red in like 2 months.
Yeah.
But that's mainly because I put hot sauce on like everything. But this little bottle of the Reaper sauce took me a half a year because it
Damn.
is too potent. And I feel like that salsa is going to go bad because I'm either going to forget about it and leave it in the fridge and it's just going to spoil, or I'm going to like, or I'm going to like eat maybe half of it and be like, yeah, fuck this. I spent $9 on this jar of salsa. Fuck it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a $9 bottle jar of salsa, and it's just a regular jar of salsa.
Well, fuck. I mean, if it's good, if it's worth it, and I guess like if you're really wanting that spice, like it's probably worth it. But
I like how we're doing
I,
an audio commentary for a movie, and we're talking about peppers.
I mean, this movie's pretty spicy.
And that's a spicy meme.
Holy shit! This fucking spicy meatball. I actually fucking tracked the origin of the spicy meatball name, and it was not hard, but it originated like as like a mass thing in like I think the 80s in like an Alka-Seltzer commercial.
Really?
Yeah, some dude says it when he's eating spicy food or something like that. He's Italian, of course.
I mean, you know what I miss? I miss Where's the Beef? That's what I miss.
Where's the beef? Yeah, we haven't heard Where's the Beef in a while.
I mean, they brought it back for a little bit.
I remember that, but then it's left again, and that's iconic. Where's the
I
beef?
remember in that movie, The Stuff. Have you seen that movie?
I have seen the stuff.
They got that old lady from that commercial to do a commercial within the movie, and she's like, "Where's the stuff?" That movie was great.
It is, and like I have a Wendy's like within a block of where I live, so I eat there a lot, and it resonates with me on a personal level.
I mean, shit, man. Wendy's is good though.
Wendy's is, I think, the best of like the big three burger chains right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say they got the best quality ingredients because let's be honest, most fast food places it's just, you know, garbage, but
Yeah.
at least Wendy's goes the extra mile to make it look good,
Exactly.
even in real life. You know, I mean, when you hold up like a McDonald's burger next to the advertisement picture, it looks terrible. But when you
Yeah,
hold a Wendy's burger up to the picture, I mean, it looks terrible by comparison. But compared to how the McDonald's one looks, it looks a lot better.
exactly. And I just, as a matter of fact, I had a Wendy's burger today, and it was good. Like, if you eat a McDonald's burger now, it's like thin, patty, tasteless garbage. But I don't know. I guess Wendy's is the only one that is like seasoning their meat now, but it's good.
I love some Steak and Shake. I can love me some Steak and Shake, man.
Yeah, dude, I like Steak and Shake, but I don't have one close enough to me to go to one often.
I mean, shit, me and my friends, we go on midnight Steak and Shake runs because those places are open 24/7.
Yeah, and the burgers are really good.
Like we did in that video that I put up.
The fucking prank one.
That video, I still kind of regret making that, but at the same time, me and my friends, every time we look at it, we're just like, oh man, that was great.
Yeah, shit. I had to watch that one because I was like, what's going on here?
A mashed potato and corn smoothie, please.
Shit.
I love that, that original video. I love that video, and that guy's channel that he makes videos, weird videos like that. He made that Vape Nation one.
Fucking Vape Nation. I was I was fucking dying when I saw the fucking Vape Nation video.
Vape is life.
Oh
Vape
my
is my
god.
life.
The fucking literally now I feel like anytime some new trend happens, it's bound to become a meme. Like there's no avoiding it at this point.
I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah, honestly, like for this generation in 2016, we've got nothing else to look forward to than like the next meme.
I mean, shit. Like, what do we got? Like, let's see. We got the new Rob Zombie movie. That's okay. That's cool. Look forward to that. Uh, what else do we got? We got the new season of Ash versus Evil Dead. We got the new Blu-ray release of Bubba Hotep. Bubba
I
Hotep's
mean,
fucking great.
yeah, Bubba Hotep is fucking great. I'm pretty psyched for the Gilmore Girls revival, but I might
Did you
be
hear they're
alone.
making a prequel to Bubba Hotep?
I didn't know that. That I'm interested in.
Like, they announced it a few years back. I haven't heard anything about it since, so it might have been canceled.
Oh, I
But
hope not.
the IMDb page for it is still up. So as far as I know, it's still in pre-production.
Like,
But apparently, it's going to be a prequel.
I hope they don't cancel it. Like, too many projects I'm excited about get canceled. Like, the Wayans brothers were going to do, like, a reboot of The Munsters, and I was curious about it, like, at least, and then it got canceled.
Wait, the Wayans brothers
Yeah,
remaking the Munsters?
yeah, they were going to reboot The Munsters.
I mean, I think if my mother heard about that, she would be like mortified because that's one of her favorite TV shows. But I mean, I like the show too. But I
Yeah, I think it's
think
a great show.
that would be an interesting one, definitely.
I read about it and I was like, holy shit, this could be potentially really good. And then I read like a minute later that it had been canceled, and I was like, well, shit.
It's like how Silent Hills got canceled. I was looking forward to that one so much. And Guillermo del
Silent Hill?
Toro was working on it.
Really?
Yeah, it was gonna be a new one, and Guillermo del Toro was gonna write the entire story for it.
So you know it would have been good.
Oh, I mean, shit, I've never seen a bad Guillermo del Toro movie.
Same, man. Like,
Actually, his actually Pan's Labyrinth is getting a new release from Criterion, and I
dude,
want to get it.
yeah, that's like, I mean, that's pretty damn close to a perfect movie, I think.
Like, when it comes to dark fantasy movies or fantasy movies in general, you know, I mean, you ask someone, what's your favorite fantasy movie? I mean, people will give you like Lord of the Rings. Me, shit, Lord of the Rings is terrible. I think it's terrible, at least. For
I
me, that's
think
when Peter Jackson became a sellout.
I agree with you there. I was shocked when Peter Jackson did it, and I think the Fellowship of the Ring is pretty good, pretty much because it stays pretty close to the book. But I think the sequels are very bad, and I think Peter Jackson's direction throughout all of them is subpar at best.
Like, I mean, I loved Peter Jackson when he was like, I mean, I say this like I was alive when it was happening. I mean, this is before I was even thought of.
Huh.
But, you know, Bad Taste. Bad
Yeah.
Taste was great. Meet the Feebles was great. Dead Alive was great.
Mhm.
Frighteners was great.
Oh yeah. And then
I had
Lord
some
of the
hope
Rings,
once.
for some reason, I don't know why someone decided he should do Lord of the Rings.
You know, actually, you know, it's funny. The special effects in it's actually the reason he decided to adapt them was because he saw Jurassic Park and he saw how great the special effects were and he thought, I want to do a movie with effects as great as these. And then he did the Lord of the Rings movies. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that like the Lord of the Rings movies aren't like they aren't well made, because they are. But I just don't like them.
Yeah, I can watch the first one because I like the Lord of the Rings. I love the books. Um, and the first one is pretty true to the book, so it's pretty bearable. But the other ones, even in parts where they are true to the book, they just get really bad in terms of acting and directing. You know, effects wise and production value is good throughout, but it gets hard to watch. It gets like so cringy. Some of the performances.
I did have hope when he did King Kong. King Kong was a good kind of return to form.
Yeah, I was into it. I thought Jack Black was a weird casting choice, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I didn't hate Jack Black in it, but I just loved that he kind of went back to his roots. Because honestly, that scene where they like fall into the crevice and then there's all those monsters and shit. That scene, when I first saw it when I was a kid and I went to see that movie in theaters, that scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, same. I had seen it in theaters myself actually, and I was pretty young, and it was wild because the effects are so good and pretty terrifying.
Oh man. And they're doing a new one too. They're
Another
doing a new
one,
King Kong. Yeah, another remake.
they got to remake King Kong like every 5 years. It's just got to happen.
I mean, the last remake came out 10 years ago, so
Was it really 10 years ago?
it was like in 2006. I vividly remember it because
Damn.
I remember wanting to get the video game for Christmas,
Huh.
and the video game of it was great too. I loved the video game, but uh, I remember wanting to get the video game of it for Christmas, and I didn't get it, and I was really disappointed. And then I went to my grandmother's house, and she actually got it for me for Christmas, and I was happy. And I will always remember that one moment of just fleeting joy.
That's beautiful. That is,
The music in this movie at times reminds me of Children of the Corn.
yeah. Man, I have to say, I think a lot of the Children of the Corn sequels are actually solid. Like I'll defend
They're
them on it.
pretty. I mean, the first sequel, I honestly really couldn't get into it, but I think the third one, Urban Harvest, I really like that one. Like, I think
Yeah,
that one's really underrated.
and I think that's weird because the second one I thought was really boring and bad, but Urban
Same.
Harvest is really interesting.
Like, it's interesting in what it tries to do. I mean, literally, the title says it all. They took it to the city, and they made it work.
Yeah, and it's got the kid who was like the devil in Demonic Toys.
Oh shit! I forgot that kid was the devil in Demonic Toys.
Yeah, so that's a like weird little connection. And I love Demonic Toys, so I was excited
I
about
mean,
that.
Demonic Toys is great, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's like better than Puppet Master, the greatest movie ever. I mean, it's entertaining as hell, but it's not great.
I mean, I love Demonic Toys, but I'll take Puppet Master any day.
As long as it's not like what is it, Curse of the Puppet Master, or really any sequel after Part 5. Because
Yeah,
after Part 5, it got really shaky.
it did. Although, which one was Retro Puppet Master? Because that one was good.
Actually, yeah, I'll give Retro Puppet Master credit where credit is due. I have it. Shit, I actually put my I mean, I told you I sort my movies by like subgenre within horror,
Mm-hmm.
and the section for like evil toys I put with like the same section as like little monster movies. So that's where I put elves and troll and gremlins.
Huh.
So I've got it right here. I got all of them. Well, up to wait, that's Puppet Master 2. Goddamn. I got all of them up to Axis of Evil, which was the ninth one.
Yeah, same. I like found a DVD with the first 9 of them at Walmart for like $5.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
a really
that's the one.
cheap. It's a really cheap release, but the picture quality is decent enough.
It is, and like I wouldn't want to buy a release that's too expensive for the Puppet Master movies, honestly.
Especially if it's all of them, because honestly, personally, only like the first four and Retro, which is the seventh one, are worth
Yeah.
buying.
Oh
And
yeah, absolutely.
Legacy was pretty bad because that was
And
just a clip show.
and I think the first three are legitimately worthy of being cult classics.
Oh no, they are 100%. I think the second one's probably my favorite of the series, though.
Same.
Just because they introduced Toulon as a kind of like they introduce him, and he's literally just one big reference to the Invisible Man. And I mean,
Yeah.
I've always loved the Invisible Man as a classic monster.
Hmm.
He's not my favorite one though.
No, me neither. I don't think he's anyone's favorite, but you gotta give him props.
I give credit where credit's due.
Exactly.
But no. Speaking of giving credit where credit's due, I gotta mention because you told me that you weren't really interested in seeing Deadpool, and I gotta tell you that I would honestly kind of recommend at least checking it out once. Like it's not great. Like I saw it in theaters, and it's one of the only movies where I will say that seeing it in theaters ruined it.
Really? Why is that?
Because me and my friends, we were gonna go out and see Pride and Prejudice and Zombies,
Right.
and we we were sitting in a coffee shop. It was like an hour before the movie started. We wanted to get there early because I mean it was Thursday night, but it was the opening night for like Deadpool, so
Right.
I'm sure like we were sure that it was going to be busy, and then if that got sold out, then maybe another movie might sell out. So we're sitting in a coffee shop and we're just sitting in there like talking about it, and I'm talking about how I read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies in middle school, and I remember it being like a really dark, like gruesome book. I mean, the illustrations in the book are really, really like stuff that I honestly would say shouldn't be in a book you would give to a middle schooler, but they did.
Nice.
And I mean, it grossed me out, and this was after I had seen like when I read it. This was after I had seen Evil Dead for the first time, like right after I'd seen Evil Dead for the first time. And Evil Dead, I'd never seen anything that crazy violent before that.
So you were already kind of ready for that. You were getting
Yeah,
in.
I was already kind of ready, but I was talking about how it was like really gruesome, and then the movie was going to be PG-13, and all both my friends and myself just kind of groaned when I said, "Oh man, it's going to be PG-13," because I felt like that would like neuter it. I mean, zombie
Yeah.
movies that are PG-13, I can't really think of a good one. Maybe My Boyfriend's Back, like that one's kind of fun, but that's more of like a kind of goofy comedy than anything else with zombies in it. And
Yeah.
even that one, I would say push the boundaries a bit for PG-13.
Yeah. I can't think of any PG-13 zombie movies that I've even seen, let alone that I like.
I will give credit where credit's due. I saw Warm Bodies, and even though that movie looked terrible, it was actually pretty decent. I
Was
will give
it?
them
I'm not
credit.
seeing it.
I will give them some credit. Like it was interesting for what they tried to do, and they actually gave a reason why it wasn't super like gory. And the reasons that actually makes a lot of sense. It's the fact that since zombies, their hearts don't beat, they don't bleed.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's the
that makes
reason
sense.
why, like, when they get shot or stabbed in the movie, there's no blood. And that actually makes a bit of sense.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's actually pretty cool how they kind of like, I mean, yeah, it's like it is like a love story about how love conquers all, even death. But uh, it's still interesting for what it is.
Yeah, I think it probably works as a PG-13 movie because I mean, it sounds like horror is not like the emphasis there,
Yeah, no, it was actually more of a comedy than anything else.
and that works. Like,
And it even referenced a Fulci's Zombie.
really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't like a unnoticeable reference, but there's a part where she's like talking to the main zombie who just calls himself R
Hmm.
because he's wearing a red jacket, but she holds up a Blu-ray case for Zombie that has the iconic zombie on the front next to his face, like comparing the two.
Huh.
And I thought that that was like a cool little thing. Like they could have done anything for that. They could have done the cover of this with the zombie girl from Night of the Living Dead, which honestly would be just as good as a reference. But they
Yeah.
decided to go for the lesser known amongst the mainstream one.
And a great film.
Oh no, absolutely fantastic. Although I will say, probably not my favorite Fulci film, and I think I would honestly say it's maybe his weakest, for me at
Yeah.
least.
I mean, I love it, but for me, it's always going to be House by the Cemetery.
House by the Cemetery is that movie just has so much atmosphere that it is perfect.
I will say I like Zombie better than The Beyond.
I mean, I've never been a big fan of The Beyond. Although I did rewatch it after buying it, and I was like, okay, I was a little hard on it when I first saw it, but it's still not his absolute masterpiece like a lot of people say.
Yeah, I mean, I do like The Beyond. I bought it, and I do watch it from time to time. Like I've seen it more than once, and I like it. But it's probably my least favorite of the films of his that I like.
But after going to a screening of Cat in the Brain, still I think that is now definitely 100% my favorite Fulci movie. With House by the
Okay.
Cemetery is a close second.
Man, you get to go to a lot of good screenings. You must have a pretty good local theater.
There's actually a theater downtown. It is actually like a world-renowned theater, apparently, and it's non-profit. So whoever owns it isn't doing it for the money. He's doing it because he loves movies, and that is beautiful.
What do you live in the capital, like in Columbus or Akron or
Yeah,
something? Okay,
in Columbus. It's
that
it's
explains.
downtown. It's only like 9 miles away from where I live.
Damn.
And I mean, like I said, I wanted to go to that screening of Lady Snowblood, but it's sold out, which I thought was weird. But
Yeah, but good that many people wanted to see it.
yeah,
Like,
but I was they do screenings of older movies there. I mean, I saw The Warriors there on 35 millimeter, and it was great
damn,
on 35 millimeter.
the way it should be seen.
Yeah, like legitimately the way it should be seen.
Yeah, like,
But no, this part in the movie though is the part I was talking about where it's like kind of silly towards the end because he's
yeah,
like being chased by these guys in biohazard suits, and he's just like sneezing at them and spitting at them to get them to stay back.
yeah.
I always thought that was like really really goofy.
This whole part, I like that it feels a lot more goofy than a lot of the earlier parts. Even the earlier parts did seem goofy, but this one,
It's just like
real over the top, less sort of heavy.
not as heavy as you would expect.
Yeah, like starting at the scene when they were like at the dinner table, you know.
Yeah, like
And the score now is even reflecting that. Like it feels now more like a Hong Kong like sort of cheesy action film as opposed to
yeah.
horror, which I like. I like the shift in tone.
I like it when a movie does try to do a to try to become a different movie towards like at a certain point.
Yeah, I mean it keeps it from stagnating.
I think one of my favorite examples of that is probably in The Skin I Live In, which is an absolutely amazing Antonio Banderas movie.
I've not seen it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but there is like But basically, it's about a brilliant scientist who wants to create like a indestructible synthetic skin,
Hmm.
and he has somebody that he has this woman and locked up in his house that he's testing this experiment on, this experimental synthetic skin on, and you don't know like anything about her. And at first it seems just kind of like an interesting kind of dark drama, like psychological thriller. And then you reach a certain point in the movie where it flips and it becomes a like revenge horror body horror movie. And it just
Damn.
like loses it. And it's like 2 hours long. And like by the time you're like 40 minutes in, it makes that turn.
Shit, that sounds really good.
And it has Antonio Banderas in it. Like he stars.
That's odd.
And this is a Spanish language movie. Like it's one of those movies that I feel like I could recommend to almost anybody because it's not like dark, it's not like violent enough to be like for somebody to be really grossed out by it. And but at the same time there's some dark, really dark scenes and themes that make it like one of those disturbing movies because it's one you hear about when you do
Yeah,
research on disturbing movies, but still it's great. It is great stuff.
I'll have to check it out. I think Antonio Banderas, depending on the project, can be really good.
I mean, I can enjoy Antonio Banderas in just about anything.
I mean, he's a good-looking fella, so there's always that to enjoy, no matter what he's in.
Like shit, I'm looking at it right on my shelf right now. It's between another Category 3 film, Red to Kill, and Surf Nazis Must Die on my shelf.
You don't have it in your body horror section?
No, because it's kind of a revenge film. Like once you reach a certain point, it becomes a revenge film, and that's one of the big things that makes that allows it to make the leap into body horror is because it's a revenge plot. So that's why I would put it under that.
That makes sense. Man, the dog's fucking eating the Ebola meat.
But yeah, no, I've got it under my revenge films.
I'll definitely check it out because it sounds really interesting.
But shit, man, you gotta see, have you seen Where the Dead Go to Die?
No, actually, I haven't.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I could recommend it, even though I do think it's like a good movie in a sort of strange way. Like, I do think it's a really good movie, even though the animation and voice acting and everything is terrible. But I would recommend the Jimmy Screamer Closet second feature film, When Blackbirds Fly.
Yeah, I saw your review of that, actually.
And it is that one I feel like is a better movie overall. It's not as dark and twisted or disturbing, so it's easier to get into and easier to recommend. But it still has the same kind of pretty bad animation, but it's easy to get past.
Yeah, I think you gave it a good review. It's been a while since you reviewed it, but
I mean, shit, I even have the VHS copy sitting right back here next to my copy of Cat. Oh, fuck.
shit.
Next to my copy of Cat in the Brain on VHS.
Damn. The only horror VHS I have is Blair Witch Project because I just get my tapes like from Goodwill.
I mean, Goodwill's the place to go, but
It
still,
they're cheap.
these are beautiful tapes.
Yeah, dude.
But This actually concludes the audio commentary, which was not even talking about the movie. It was just talking about other shit.
It was like not even really a commentary.
I mean, but hell, it was cool.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the film too, actually, because I was actually paying attention. It was good. I'm probably gonna buy it to have it.
Yeah, no, man. This release I have of it is like $13, and it's even got an audio commentary.
Really?
With the director and the star of the film, and an interview with the director. And it's the only version of it available anywhere. And this is thankfully it's Region 1. Actually, yeah, it's Region 1, but this is the only version of it available that is completely uncut.
Damn. Okay, I'll have to check that out then. Make sure I get the uncut copy.
Yeah, no, it's one of the only Region 1 releases of it, but we need a new Region 1 release of The Untold Story, because there's not one available currently. I mean, it is, but it's like upwards of $100, and as much as I like that movie, I'm not paying $100.
I mean, can you get I think it's Region 3 for that region any cheaper?
I mean, you might be able to find like a copy from, like an actual copy from like Hong Kong, I think, for a bit cheaper, but I don't know if it's region free. I mean, it's kind of like my copy of I'm not even gonna pull it off the shelf, but Possession that I have is I think it's either Korean or Hong Kong. And it's a decent copy of the movie. Like it's the movie, and it's better than paying $40 for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, like if I can't find it anywhere for like a decent price, I'll usually try and find like a bootleg on iOffer or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, I make my own bootlegs for movies that I can't get.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's a shame because I always prefer to buy. Like I'll only get a bootleg if I can't find it.
Yeah, no, obviously. But still, I mean, like I got bootlegs of like right here. I got one of Popcorn.
Same.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I got a bootleg of that as well. And that is a good one, and a few others, a few SOV bootlegs. But the good news is a lot of people are releasing shot on video, are getting like official DVD releases for shot on video horror, which is great.
Oh no, it is great. I'm happy that like Video Violence has an official release and shit.
Yeah, man. Like, did you get like the double DVD?
Actually, I bought the Basement collection for it. That comes with the film The Basement, because I wanted to get The Basement anyway, and that's the only way you can get it, is in that set.
I know, and I bought the Video Violence DVD like before I knew that Basement set existed, so it's like.
Well, I mean, do you have like Captives, or I don't even think Captives is available on its own, but do you have Cannibal Campout?
I actually don't have Cannibal Campout.
I would recommend buying it because it comes with both the Video Violence movies as well as Cannibal Campout, a movie called Captives, which I haven't watched yet, but it's another shot-on-video film from the same guy that did Video Violence. And, of course, it comes with The Basement. And The Basement is a really good anthology.
Jesus, so it comes with like 5 movies?
Yeah, and it's only $20. And it comes in a big box, and it comes with a VHS copy of The Basement as well.
Fun. Yeah, that'll probably end up being my next purchase because I've wanted to get that. I've had my eyes on it for a while.
Like I think it's well worth the asking price of $20. Like,
yeah, for all that, that's like a steal. Like, I'd be a fool not to get it.
I mean, like the Video Violence movies, some of the best shot on video stuff out there.
Absolutely.
And then you got The Basement, which is probably one of the best shot on video anthology films I've seen. But then again, I haven't seen that many anthology shot on video films, but it's still really good stuff. And Cannibal Campout is just fun.
Really fun, yeah. I've seen it, but I don't own it, and I want to own it because I would definitely rewatch it. Would love to have it in my collection.
I have actually not watched it since I watched it about a year ago. I really
Oh,
need to
dude,
rewatch it.
I'm way into it. Well, anyway, I have to go because I gotta walk somewhere. But
Hey, man. All
please,
right.
I
Well,
enjoyed it.
then,
It was more of a podcast than a
than anything
commentary.
else, but hell, I say let's do it again.
Let's do it again, man. Why not? Next time, I'll pick the movie.
Oh,
I'll
hell
have to
yeah.
find
Sure.
more lucky.
Sure, man. You can pick the movie next time. But anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, and Andrew from the New Fury signing off.
Later.
Peace.